Hello guys, today we'll be talking about quadratics. So, what is a quadratic? A quadratic is a type of equation that has a variable squared, and the structures are usually like this: x squared plus usually like this. These a, b, and c are real numbers or known values. So, known values. This x over here is in a known value, and this x over here is squared by 2. Now, not every quadratics have this structure. There are some quadratics that are different from this structure. For example, I'm also going to teach you how to solve it. X squared minus 36. So now, how can we solve it? There are numerous ways to solve quadratics, such as completing square method, or factorization, or the quadratic formula. Today we're going to solve it by factorization. So what is the next step? Well, notice this number here is a perfect square of 6 because 6 times 6 equals to 36. And this over here is also a perfect square because x times x, sorry, equals, because x times x equals to x squared. So we can assume that it will be x 6 multiplied by x and 6. Now the question is, which sign should we put here? Well, of course the addition sign cannot be put here because there is a negative sign over here. So what we put negative sign on both sides and both of the equation. Then by doing for method we can get the answer, which is x squared, x times minus 6x minus 6 times x equals to again minus 6x, and combining them it will be minus 12x. It's already wrong. And minus 6 times minus 6 equals to positive 36 because minus equals to plus. So this is also not applicable. What if we use one plus sign and one negative sign? What would happen then? Let's see. X times x equals to x squared. X times minus 6, it will be minus 6x, plus positive 6 times x equals to positive 6x. So the negative 6x and the positive 6x cancels out like this. To cancel out because both are opposite. Both are opposite. And then we have 6 positive 6 times negative 6. It will be 36. Negative 36. So this is the same thing as this. Actually, this is the same thing. Therefore, this is the correct answer. And you can do the same for other numbers as well, which has a perfect square. Perfect square like 25. 25 is a perfect square for 5. You can give just like this, you can do that just like this. Or if it were 64, you can do the same thing. You can give 8, 8, and if it were 49, 49 is a perfect square of 7, so you can give 7 and 7. See, now how about what if we make our equation like this? 2x squared minus 128. What would happen then? First thing you want to do is to get the 2 out of the equation and factor out the 2, which will be 2 times x squared minus 64, because 2 times x squared will be 2x squared, 2 times minus 64 it will be minus 128 over here. Now notice 64 is a perfect square for 8, so we can write 2 times x squared, oh sorry, 2 times x plus 8, x minus 8, and we've already got our solution. So the answer will be x equals to positive 8. So first one will be negative 8. If you move this 8 to the other side, the right hand side, it will be negative 8. And this one will be positive 8. If you take it to the other side. So this is the answer for this equation. Now what if we had something like this? Sorry, it is taking time to erase. What if we had something like this? X squared minus 8x. Now what are we going to do? We can simply just take the x out, factor the x, it will be x minus 8. And that's it, just one line and we've already got our answer. You don't need to think about this x, you don't need to think about it. What you have to focus on is the inner one, this one. You have to focus on this one. Now taking 8 to the other side, we'll get positive 8. We'll also get x equals to 0, because a quadratic must always contain two answers, always. So in this case, our x will be 0, and our x will be 8 and 0. Now, what if we had something like this? 2x squared minus 8x. What can we do in this equation? We'll simply just take 2x out of here. We'll get x minus 4. Okay, x minus 4 equals to 0. And which will be, as you can see, we do need to think about 2x. What you need to think about is the inner part, this one. So x minus 4 equals to 0, or x equals to 4, taking it to the other side. And of course x equals to 0 too. So these are our answers. Now, what if you had something like this? X squared plus 2x equals to plus 3. What can we do in here? Well, one thing you could do is simply take 3 to the other side, which will be x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals to 0. Now see, once again it mimics a complete quadratic. The quadratic you're doing. The original structure ax squared plus bx plus c. See, it is the original structure. This x squared is basically just 1x squared. So yeah, how can we factorize this? One thing you should do is know about the factors of 3, which is only 1 and 3. This 1 times 3 equals to 3. Now, we have to add or subtract the factors of 3 in such a way that we will get 2. We don't need to think about the addition or subtraction sign. We don't need to think about that. Think numerically. 3 is bigger than 2 numerical way. So, we want the 3 to be 2. So what can we do? One thing you could do, well, of course, you can do is negative 1, put negative 1 and then positive 3, which will be basically 2. Basically 2. So x squared. Also keep in mind to keep the structure. I mean, I will show you by the structure. Also, always remember to give x while giving, while putting these numbers. My negative x plus 3x minus 3. So, see, if you combine negative 1x with positive 3x, it will be 2x again. But by doing this, you can easily factorize them. Now, notice if you ignore the plus sign and if you like do this, you can see their structures are very similar. They have the negative sign over here, 1x, 1 over here, 1 over here, 3 over here, 3 over here in their respective group. And think of them as like a group. And you should keep the structure similar. And put the other sign, addition sign, which is the opposite of subtraction, in the middle. Not in all cases. And putting the opposite sign in the middle. Now, what can we do? We can easily factorize taking x out. X equals to x minus 1, because if you combine the x with x, it will be x squared. X with minus 1, it will be minus 1x, or just minus x, plus 3 x minus 1, because if you multiply 3 with negative 1, it will be negative 3. Now see, these two are same, so we can combine them together to form just one unit, and we'll also combine x plus 3 into another group. Or, you know what, we need to erase some stuff. Or x, wait, x plus 3 times x minus 1. Now, if you multiply them, you can get the original equation, the x squared plus 2x minus 3. But we won't do that because we've already got the answer, which is if you take 3 to the other side, it will be x equals to negative 3. Taking taking negative 1 to the other side, it will be x equals to positive 1. This is our answer. So let's do another quadratic equation. So what if we had something like this? Uh, X squared. Wait, let me delete more stuff here. X squared plus 5x negative 6. So what we're going to do here as well, we'll just follow the previous one. It's basically like the previous one, just a bit different number. So it will be like this, or x squared. Let's get the factors of 6 first, which is 1, 6, 2, 3. Now we could use 1, 6 to get 5 over here, or by using 2, 3, but I want to use the 1, 6. You could also use 2, 3. So here, how can I get positive 5? By putting a negative 1. So x squared minus negative 1x, or just x, plus, let's see, plus 6x plus 6x minus 6 equals to 0. See, once again, we can factorize it because they're in the respective group now. Or taking out the x, it will be x minus 1 plus 6 x minus 1 equals to 0. Now we'll combine x and 6 to group x plus 6, and combine x minus 1 and x minus 1 to one unit, x minus 1. Once again, x minus 1 taken to the other side will be x equals to 1, and plus 6 taking it to the other side, it will be minus 6. So this is our answer for this equation. Now, how about what if we had something like this? Something like 2x squared 3x plus 5. Now, how can we solve this equation? Let me erase this stuff. So, how can we solve this equation? Well, the first thing you want to do is to multiply 5 with the 2, or else get we cannot factor this equation, because, well, if you see the factors of 5, you cannot do anything with the factors of 5 to make it 3. So 5 times 2, it will be 10. I always recommend multiplying the last digit over here with 2 to x squared. So multiplying that, we'll get 10. And what are the factors of 10? They are 1, 10, 2, 5. So these are the factors of 10. Now what can we do to get 3? One thing we could do is using positive 5 and negative 2. So that's right. 2x squared or 2x squared. Don't put negative 2 to negative 2x because we have plus signs. Both are plus. So by looking at that, you, you can assume that we should put the negative sign on the middle between the two assumed groups. So 2x squared plus 5x minus, okay, I will erase that, minus 2x plus 5 equals 0. Now we can factorize them. Oh, sorry. We can factorize them. So let's factorize. Taking 2x out of here, we can get 2x x plus 5 minus 2x plus 5 is 0. Remember, always try to make this and this equal so that we can factor them to just one unit. Or by combining 2x and minus 2, we can get 2x minus 2 x plus 5. So we've already got our solution. Taking x to the plus 5 to the other side, it will be x minus 5. And by doing a simple algebra, we can get, by taking 2 to the other side, it will be positive 2, and dividing both sides by 2, the 2 will get cut on the 2x side, and it will be divided by 2 on the right side. So it will be 2 divided by 2 equals to 1, just 1, x equals to 1. So to practice, I'm going to give another equation similar to this. What if we had 3x squared 5x 5x minus 2? What can we do in here? Well, let me erase all that. One thing you could do, once again, is to multiply 2 with 3, which will be 6. What are the factors of 6? 1, 6, 2, 2. Once again, you could use 2 and 3 to make 5, but I will use 1 and 6 in here, which will be 3x squared. No, see, negative again. Therefore, we can assume positive will be in the middle. 3x squared minus x plus 6x minus 2 is 0. Now let's factorize them. Or be careful while factorizing it. This time you cannot take 3x, or else the inside part of this group will be wrong. It will not be equal. So be careful in that. 3, taking the x out, we'll get 3x minus 1 plus 2, not 6, 2, because 2 times 3 equals to 6. It will be 2 times 3 equals 3x equals to 6x. minus 1 equals to 0. I have no space for the 0. Sorry. So now let's combine 3x minus 1, 3x minus 1 into one group, into one unit, and combine x plus 2 into a group. X plus 2 should times 3x minus 1. Now we can solve for x. Taking x to the other side, it will be negative 2. And in here, taking 1, sorry, x, not x, x equals to x plus 2 equals to 0. Taking 2 to the other side, it will be negative 2. Now, what about 3x minus 1? Well, taking 1 to the other side, it will be, no, I'm going to show it practically in case you forgot. Like this, or 3x equals to 1, or x equals to 1 divided by 3. Therefore, our answer will be negative, negative 2 and positive 1 by 3. So this is our answer for this equation. One piece of advice I'd like to give to you all, that is to practice. You do continuous practice. And if you're not comfortable with factorizing quadratics, you could use other forms, for example, using the quadratic formula or the completing square method, whatever it is comfortable for you. For me, I like to use factorization for most of the quadratics. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like my channel. This is my first video, so goodbye. Thank you.